Why do some products make hundreds of thousands while others never even see $1? I combined advice from top marketing experts along with my own experience making over 6 figures in digital product sales to help answer this question so that you can learn to market your product so good you basically force people to buy from you. The basis of marketing is being able to get a stranger to buy from you. Right now, your competition is just doing it better than you, but if you use these 3 tactics from the book Influence, you'll easily be able to double your sales. Scarcity. So we all know those sales that are like, only for the weekend or only for 4 hours. Brands will make scarcity so that people feel like that sense of urgency and they want to buy. You can do this in your own business by either saying like, your course or your product or your ebook is only available for this amount of time, or maybe it's only available to 100 people and then after that it's closed. Social proof. Humans always want what other humans have. That's just human nature, and you can leverage this to actually sell more by showing things like testimonials on your own website or in your marketing. Now, if you don't have testimonials, that's fine. What I would do is give your product to a family member or a friend, or you can even give it away for free to the first 5 people in exchange for their review and their testimony. Because if other people are like, seeing that it's popular, people are getting results from your product or just enjoying your product, then they are going to want to buy, and it'll make your product fly off the shelves so much more than if you don't have that social proof there. The last tactic that this book talks about is the theory of reciprocity. This is what I actually leveraged so much to make all my sales and all the niches I was in. But basically, if you give away a lot of value for free, human nature says, I want to give something in return. So for example, when I was selling a travel course, I was giving away so much travel tips and travel advice for free that when I actually had my product, people were like, oh, I have to buy from her because like she's giving away so much free value, and that course was able to make me a lot of money. All these 3 tactics should be used on your website because that's what's going to be converting people into buyers. And at this point, having a website is an absolute must. I think I've said it a million times now. And if you want to use a custom domain, which I recommend for looking more professional, then I suggest you go with a .store domain. This is because a .store domain helps you to sell more. So in a recent study, it was shown that .store domains got 2 times more visibility on Google, and 87% more people were likely to click on a .store domain. Especially as a beginner, this is giving you an advantage that like you really cannot pass up. That's why people like Mr. Beast and Rihanna all have their .store domains, because the benefits are really undeniable. You even get to save money. So .store domains get $2,500 worth of discounts on business tools like tax tools and email marketing by going on elevate.store, compared to other domains, they only get $1,600 worth of discounts. And .store domains are super affordable, so I got you guys a special deal. For your first year, you can get your .store domain for just 99 cents. All you need to do is use the code ENERGY at checkout. This is one of the easiest things that you can do to give your store an advantage over the competition. So thanks so much to .store domains for sponsoring this video and getting you guys that really good deal. Now this next one might be a bit controversial, but it worked, so I'm throwing it in here. But the reason that a lot of y'all are not making sales is because you're not making things intense enough. What do I mean by this? I just mean that people are likely not going to take action. That's just how humans are, right? We rather do what we've been doing. But a good marketer makes people scared to not buy your product. I know it's a little bit controversial, but the thing is that fear is a really strong motivator, and a lot of people aren't gonna want to take action unless they have a little fire under their butt, right? And so we don't only want to show them what they'll gain from using our products, we want to show them what they're losing out on. Like FOMO is a really strong emotion. So if I was making like a course or a book or something on gentle parenting, I'm not only gonna say like, oh, experience, calm nights and happy days with your child. You can say that, of course, but if I want to inject some fear in it, and look, I'm not a parent, so I don't know. If I want to inject some fear, I might be like, look, if you do not buy this product, say goodbye to your hair, because it's going to be falling out because you're going to be so stressed. And you better have a good phone plan for all the calls from the cops that you're going to get. Okay, don't say that. But you guys know what I mean. Like, position it in some way to where people are like, dang, if I don't buy this, actually have like a vision of what my life is gonna look like. And like, I need to get this right now. I don't need to wait until next week to get it. You don't have to fearmonger, but just be like very honest. Like, for example, with me, before I started selling digital products, I tell you guys all the time, when I was working at the call center, I was like so sad every time I went to work. I was angry. I was getting cussed at and screamed at and threatened and all this stuff. And I could just be very honest. Like, if I did not start selling digital products, I would have been in that same situation. I would have been hating my life. I would have been dreading to get up for work every day. I would have been crying on my lunch breaks. You know, all this stuff I could go into just very honestly, because that is the reality. If I had stayed and I didn't take the leap to start selling digital products and start a YouTube channel and all this. Sometimes as humans, like, we need that extra bit of spice. We need a little bit of fear to actually start taking action. When you are marketing your product, I don't want you to make the mistake of making things too much about you. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are struggling with their marketing, because they're like, how can I market? How can I market? But the book Building a Story Brand emphasizes being a guide, not a hero. What this means is that your audience is actually the hero of their own story, and it's your job to guide them to that win. So when you're positioning and marketing your product, it shouldn't really be about you. It shouldn't really be about your product. It should be about your audience. So you might say something like, you're tired, you're overworked, you don't have time to create a fitness plan, but I know that you have the drive in you. I know that if you just had, the right workouts to do to fit into your schedule, you could really make some change. I believe in you, which is why I created this guide that is going to help you reach your goals. It has already helped hundreds of people like you, and it's your time to get that transformation in 2025. You see how this marketing was all about, your audience and your customer. Wasn't really too much about me or my product or my own story. It empowers them and it makes them say like, oh yes, you know what? I can do this. This is for me. Start seeing your product as just the middleman to get somebody to their goals. And when you're making your marketing content, that's what should be in your Instagram posts, your TikToks, your website. Like, that's the messaging that should be there. Now, people who understand this next point are the ones who are going to make the serious money that they want to make. This comes from Seth Godin's book, This Is Marketing, where he says that people do not buy products, they buy feelings and identities. So you, as somebody who's marketing, needs to really understand why your audience is buying something. For example, when I had my travel course, I wasn't just like, hey, this is a course that's just gonna teach you how to book flights and it's gonna teach you how to find hotels and da-da-da. Like, that's not really giving what it needs to give. No, you have to tap into that underlying emotional desire. What did people want? They wanted to break free from the traditional life. They knew that there was something more in life than just being in a cubicle or being in an office. They knew that they were a free spirit inside and that they didn't belong to just one place or just one culture or just one identity. And so my messaging, whenever I was making videos, whenever I was actually writing the website and creating my course, was tapping into that rather than being like, yeah, I'm going to teach you guys how to book flights. No, I'm going to teach you guys how to finally live a free life, not chained down by a 9-to-5, not chained down by a country. You can make money anywhere in the world so that your life on the outside aligns with that free spirit on the inside. Once you tap into that underlying emotion and you grip people and their identity and their feelings, you make it nearly impossible for them to say no, because they're not just buying your product at this point, they're buying into themselves. They're buying a deeper belief in themselves. That's like flying off the shelves. You're gonna have no problem selling if you're able to do that. At this point, you might be like, well, that all sounds good, but couldn't customers just go to somewhere else and get that same thing? Well, that's only true if you do not follow this next tip, which comes from the book Blue Ocean Strategy. And this is all about positioning. In order for all of this to work, you have to position yourself with some contrast. Position your product with some contrast, I should say. This means that you are emphasizing why you are different, why, you know, other people can't do it like you, why like the sauce looks the same, but the recipe is very different. One way that I've seen this recently is like with a lot of like make money courses, the messaging is very much like grind, make it happen, deep work, lock in, monk mode, all these things. And the way that I've seen people actually contrasting to where you could be teaching the same exact thing, but people are gravitating towards yours, is people are like slow work, slow entrepreneurship, slow wealth, stuff like that. Anything that is like, hey, let me help you reach your money goals without burning out, without the hustle, without the grind. Because some of us, we just want to frolic, okay? We just want to relax and like, yes, we want financial freedom, but we don't want to like work ourselves to the bone because it's giving 9 to 5, you know, rather than a 9 to 5, you have like a 10 to 10 at this point. So your marketing, whether you're making a video, whether you're writing it on your website, needs to be very clear about why you are different than everybody else and why they can only get what they need from you. If you don't have that in your marketing, you don't have that when you're making your TikToks or YouTube videos or your ads or whatever it is, people are not going to want to buy from you because they can go down the street and get what you're selling. With all of this advice, the more that you get each one correct, the less likelihood you have of failure, because like these are tried and true. They do work. If you're not seeing your marketing efforts like go anywhere, it's because you don't have one of these or all of these in order, and that's all that you need to change, as long as you have a good product, of course. So when you're making your videos, when you're making your ads, when you're making whatever content or marketing material that you make sure that, you know, you read these books. That's how I learned this. I had to read some books, and make sure that you implement them the best that you can. Like I always say, if you have a good product that actually helps people, it's your obligation and your duty to get that out to the world. Like it deserves to be out there. It doesn't deserve to just, you know, be sitting there in your computer picking up dust, computer dust or whatever. It needs to get out there if it can help people. So it's on you to do the marketing on point. I have other marketing videos that I will put on the screen here. And as always, if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys in my next video.